Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. It is Thursday, April 14th, 2022, and welcome to my Facebook Live. My name's Jennifer Cotton. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Midlothian, Texas, and that means I teach people how to make greeting cards, scrapbook pages, gift packaging, and more with stamps, ink, paper, and lots of cool tools. Hello to everybody who's here already. Pam, good morning. You were the first one to say hi this morning. Thank you. Hey, Janet in North Carolina and Carol in Connecticut. Thank you for sharing, Carol. Good morning, Debbie and Terry. Hello. Jill, good morning. And Robin and Pat, Susan, good morning. Facebook user, good morning. Let me see if I have a name over here. Not sure who that is. Let's see. Got Susan. Amy, good morning on YouTube, and Susan's on YouTube as well. Thank you guys for watching over there. Good morning, Mary Ann. And good morning, I'm thinking, LOL. It says Facebook user, so I don't know whose name that is. Pat, good morning. Joni, hello. Hey, Sharon, good to see you in Michigan. Elizabeth in Georgia. Cindy, Denise in Colorado. Awesome. That's me, Rhonda. Yay, Rhonda. I don't know why it doesn't say your name, as your name. Jean in North Dakota. Linda in Moses Lake, Washington. Awesome. So lots of people here this morning. Thank you guys for being here. I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator 20 years now, and I do this as a full-time job. So watching my video is very helpful to me. Thank you very much. Also, commenting on the video on both platforms helps me, as well as, of course, sharing the video. And when you share it, make sure you comment that you shared, because both of those things are going to get you entered to win the 4 cards that I'm making today with the Cactus Cuties Bundle. Yay! There is a punch that matches this, and I'll bring it out later. It's in a box right now for the video today. But these, I hope you will think these are 4 super cute cards, but I do have lots of information to share first. I have a lot going on. Like I said, this is a full-time job for me, so I offer tons of events that people can take anywhere in the United States. Everything's offered to go, and some of it is offered in person here in Midlothian, or DeSoto is actually is the city. So I'm going to catch up here for a second. I think I said Cindy and Denise. Jean, yes. Sandy, good morning. Linda, thank you for sharing. Hey, Susan, good morning in Minnesota. Amy, boss walked in, laughed at the screen, shook her head, and walked off. That's the reaction I get. Cindy, Owen, good morning. Hey, Terry. Hey, haven't seen you in a while, Terry. Good morning. Thanks for sharing, Cindy. I know, Terry, this is such, there's a couple of Terrys that I'm speaking to here, but Terry B, this is such a cute set, and I had a lot of fun working with it, so I hope you guys like these projects. Good morning, Landa. Hey, Mary. Thank you for sharing, and hello. Good morning, Facebook user. Let me see if I can see who that is. No, it's so funny. This is just like technology stuff that I don't understand. It's over my head, but I use a service called StreamYard. So on StreamYard, Facebook user is saying good morning. It might be because you're watching in my group, I wonder. But anyway, over here on actual Facebook on my iPad, I don't see that comment at all. So it's interesting where everything shows up. But thank you guys all for watching. I appreciate you saying good morning and hello. Jean, we are on day 3 of a blizzard here in North Dakota, 20 plus inches of snow. That's crazy. I know I've seen on the news where some areas are still cold, but I've had a lot going on, so I haven't paid super close attention. That's crazy. It's just cool here this morning, like 40s, but I think it's getting up to 70 something or 80 today in Texas, or at least where I am in Texas. Yay, Linda's happy for ideas. Okay, so let me jump in. Jill, thanks for sharing, and give y'all the info about all of my events. which, like I said, is a lot. I just have a lot going on right now. We have a new catalog coming out. There's a lot. So all of my events are going to include this stuff. A PDF tutorial. We're going to cut, die cut, punch, and emboss everything we can for you. You will cut your own designer paper if it's included with the fee, or kit components like a Memories and More kit. And then of course, if you need to stamp and then die cut out, you will do that die cutting or hand cutting, but we'll die cut everything else and emboss it and all that. You can take everything I talk about today is offered all over the US. Most you can get only the PDF tutorial if you just want that. But I do have 4 monthly classes that happen every single month that are offered in person to go or to check out those supplies from me and stamp at your house. And those classes are card, scrapbook, Stamp-A-Stack, and sampler. They all happen on the same day. This month, it's April 23rd. You can come in person, or your kit will be ready April 23rd if you want to pick it up, or I will mail it April 25th for all 4 of those. In person is DeSoto, Texas. You still have time to register for all of these. And yeah, I said all that. Okay, so the first class is card class. Register by April 21st. It's 4 cards free with a $20 order. Now, yes, you can pay a $15 fee to get this 4-card packet. I would get it free with an order. And they happen to be the 4 cards I'm going to make today with Cactus Cuties. So you will see these cards today, and I will tell you all about how to get that class for free. Scrapbook class works the same way. It's 3 12 by 12 pages, $15 free with a $20 order. They're 12 by 12. We're using Flowering Rain Boots Bundle and Party Puffins and Biggest Wish stamp sets. So one will be feminine or Mother's Day themed, and one will be party themed, one set. And we'll make the 2 Mother's Day pages and the 1 birthday page. And then in May, we'll make page 2 to the birthday and 2 more new pages. So it goes like that every month. So it's a 30-page album by the end of the year if you take all the classes or join the club. Okay, so both of those register by April 21st, $15 free with a $20 order. You do have to register for those classes, by the way. You can't just place the order. There's 2 steps. Place the order and register, and you do pay shipping if needed. Okay, then we have, of course, the 2 subscription clubs, which are also offered a la carte, Sampler and Stamp-A-Stack. Sampler is a 12 by 12 framed art piece. I think I have... I know I showed this last week. Yeah, this is the one we just did last month in March. Our spring sampler. Sorry, there is all the stuff on my tables reflecting in this glass. But I think it's adorable. It's 12 by 12. You frame it. You decorate your home. You give it as a gift. You switch it out. So you don't need a ton of frames. You just switch it out seasonally. Open up the back of your frame. It makes a great gift. It's awesome. So that class is $28. It includes $20, really almost $25 in merchandise. Everything's cut, die cut, punched. You get the 12 by 12 piece. It's awesome. And this month we're using the On the Horizon bundle. So it's going to be sort of definitely naturey, but also sort of masculine. Like you could lean it toward masculine if you want. Hasn't been designed yet. So I don't have a sneak peek. It will be designed by Sunday because that's my deadline for myself, my personal deadline. And then Stamp-A-Stack are the cards I showed last week. This class, Sampler's 28, if I didn't say that. Stamp-A-Stack is $30 for 12 cards. You're going to make 3 each of these 4 designs that we made on last week's Facebook Live. And $30, it includes over $20 in merchandise. It's close to, I forget the number now, but it's over $25 with tax and shipping value of product alone, plus the 12 cards. Plus we cut, die cut, emboss, plus a PDF tutorial using Crane of Fortune. Gorgeous, well, I think a gorgeous stamp set. So you can watch last week's video if you missed it to see those cards being made. You can register for Sampler and Stamp-A-Stack by Sunday, April 17th, this Sunday, or join the club even better, you can cancel anytime. People have done it. They've joined for 1 or 2 months and canceled. That's allowed. But if you stay in the club for 6 consecutive months, you get $25 in free merchandise from me after 6 consecutive months. Just for taking this class for 6 months in a row, basically. Or sampler, or some people are in both clubs. So $30, 12 cards, over 20 in merchandise, 12 cards. Don't forget that part. It's a great deal. Okay, sorry. I have to emphasize it because I think it's a really good club. Let me check these comments. Ooh, Austria, Europe in the afternoon. Now let me pronounce your name right. Oh, Brigitte, I'm assuming. Brigitte. Thank you very much. That's awesome. And you're on YouTube. Awesome. I'm hoping people will start to see me on YouTube, new people like Brigitte, because I've just started streaming there for this is my 3rd week, I think. Janet, watching on TV, on YouTube, commenting on the phone, on Facebook. That's very smart. What's the word? There's another word, but it's very smart. Jennifer, good morning. Jill shared in Northeast Ohio. Thank you, Jill. Cindy moved over to Facebook. Facebook user says, join the club. I don't know why. Again, I can't see some of the names. Although I'm thinking it's, if you're watching in my VIP group, maybe that's why for some reason. But so I'll check that group later for your comments. Anyway, those are the 4 monthly classes. Okay. Then I have another class, actually 2, that the deadline to sign up is Sunday, the 17th. And it's 2 classes I'm doing with Alejandra Gomez. I'm going to show y'all sneak peeks in 1 second of all of the projects. I have her cards now, and I have all of my cards. Sign up by the 17th. I think these classes are amazing. I think they're totally worth it. You know what they're included at the top. I already said that because that's for all of my classes, but we are having a friendly hello class where you're going to make 10 projects, get $27 in merchandise on top of a free stamp set and a free half pack of designer paper and a Facebook party where we will demonstrate the projects, and you don't have to be there in person. You can watch the recording. All of that. I think that class is $40, but I didn't put the price there. It's, $40 for all of that. This is to go. You do it at home. Everything else I'm going to talk about today, except for my in-person retreats, is take it to go and stamp at home with your own supplies and the PDF. Anyway, and then the optional add-on class is the Sunshine and Rainbows class for $37. It includes almost $37 in merchandise and 8 cards, half a pack of designer paper for free. This, of course, this designer paper is no longer available. And I don't have that class price here. Oh, it's $37 is the class, almost $37 in merchandise. Okay, so I have the sneak peeks. I'm going to show you. You can still register. There is limited space, and I'm getting close to my limit, but time-wise, you have until Sunday. So you're going to make, okay, I was like, oh no, I lost her cards. Here's our 10 cards you're going to make for the Friendly Hello class with PDF tutorial and video instruction. You do not have to be present for that Facebook party. I got Alejandra's cards yesterday in the mail, and hopefully she got mine in the mail yesterday. We were both a little behind this time in our group joint effort class here. I'm trying to turn that up. You're going to make all of these. Now remember, cut, die cut, punch, emboss. Alejandra makes beautiful cards. Yes, she does. So there's like an embossed piece back here. There's some punched leaves here. We're going to do all that work for you. You'll just complete on your own. We have some, by the way, some of hers are fun folds. They're just in the plastic. So like this slides off and it opens. It's like a gate fold under there. I can't make you be able to see it, but it's a gate fold. So we have some several fun folds in this class as well. You also get the merchandise. So you get for free Friendly Hello stamp set. If you already have one, I recommend just sharing it with a friend. Give it away. You get some Wink of Stella. You get embellishments. You get ribbon. And you get half a pack of the Friendly Hello designer paper. So sign up by Sunday. It's awesome. We're really excited about this class. And then the other class, which I changed my registration. Now you can take only the kite class because several people want that and now have signed up only for kites. So we're calling it the Sunshine and Rainbows class because you get half a pack free of this 6x6 Sunshine and Rainbows retired designer paper. You get with the class fee the Kite Delight stamp set, but you can substitute if you already own it or don't want it. You just, in the registration form, this is what I want instead. You also get a pack of baker's twine. And then you're going to make 8 adorable cards. These kites, like coming in at the last minute here on this catalog, are amazing. 8 cards. Now this one is just a to-go class, PDF tutorial. We cut, die cut, punch, emboss, etc. You stamp and assemble at home with the PDF. You can take that. So when you get my email today at 1 o'clock, Denise, like that flowed so smooth into what I was saying next. When you get my email today at 1 o'clock, there will be a registration link that says Friendly Hello Class / Sunshine and Rainbows Kite Bonus or something. That's one of the links to register. Also, Denise, I can message the link to you, or you can email me and ask me for the link. Per Stampin' Up policy, because we're including product, we can't just post the link to that class in public. Also, I recommend just go ahead and join my VIP group. It's like Jennifer Cotton VIP Stampin' Up something. There's a link to it in this video already, actually, in Facebook or YouTube to join my VIP group, and you can find it over there. But I'll write your name down, Denise, so I can follow up. Yeah, and thank you for watching, by the way. Good morning, Shannon. Good morning, Betty, by the way. I didn't say good morning to you. Marcia, I thought that was you, Marcia, because that you're very, you're always promoting my club. So I figured it was Marcia, but it didn't say Marcia. Thank you, Marcia. She said, join the club. Betty, happy Thursday to you as well. Brigitte used Cactus Cuties last night. Love it. Is there a link for StreamYard? I don't remember seeing something. I'm not sure on that. I do not know. It might be in that like preview where it says I'm going live. There might be a link there. Lori, no problem. We got her all set up for the classes. Yes, you are welcome. Denise, you're welcome. Good morning, Facebook user. Awesome. Okay, so that's that class. Moving on. I have so many classes. May retreat in a box. I started working on it yesterday, but all I got done. I can actually show you what I got done. It's nothing complete. But anyway, for the May retreat in a box, we are using the Hues of Happiness suite for your 10 or more make and takes. We are using, I put my stuff in the wrong order over here, so I'm grabbing it. I'm sorry, you're going to get $50 in merchandise, at least 10 make and takes, an exclusive bag, gifts, tutorial, and of course, if you add on the classes, no extra shipping. So this, for the retreat in a box, which you can register for now, you have until May 1st to register. That's a Sunday. Let me bring myself back. We're going to use this. The Hues of Happiness suite is the Happiness Abounds bundle. I can't even show you the designer paper right now because it's to my right, laying all spread out for my designing purposes. But someone had asked, I showed this on my haul video, so you can go back and check that out. I showed all these products. Someone had asked on that video, do the dies that cut out these flowers, these 4 flowers, also cut out the designer paper. And yes, there are 2 designs that it cuts out. So I'm excited. But what I did last night, which I still don't know if I'm going with this final, like I'm in the testing phase, but was I watercolored some flowers and stamped. I don't know if you can see that that's a stitched rectangle. And it's laying on some designer paper over here that I might cut up. You know how you're like, do I cut it or not? Anyway, so I'm working on those designs right now. Hopefully I can finish them by this weekend before I have to stop and work on sampler and scrapbook, which haven't been designed. But anyway, that's what we're using. Okay, so you can sign up for that now. And then there are 2 optional classes, which you can take alone or with the retreat, or, you know, any mix you want. So there's the Sun Prince Stamp-A-Stack. You're going to make 12 cards, 3 designs, 4 of each. It's going to include $35 in merchandise. Really, it's over $35 because that's before tax and shipping, including the Sun Prince designer paper and more. And that is the stamp set is called Nature's Prints. It's gorgeous. Now there is, of course, dies to go with this. There's dies that go with the other one as well, and designer paper and other products that I'll be using. But just to give you a sneak peek of that stamp set. So it's gorgeous. I'm also going to try to finish that this weekend as well. I need to get all this stuff done because May is coming so fast and your deadline is May 1st. And then April's class, which you sign up through me, it's called He's the Man. You're going to make 4 cards, a treat bag, a treat box. This is going to be for all the men in your life. Don't worry, it doesn't have to be Happy Father's Day, just guys in general. Include over $35 in merchandise, including the He's the Man designer paper, rustic adhesive back dots, and more. And here's that stamp set. He's all that. It's an awesome set. So again, I showed all these products, like I showed the full designer paper, whatever else was with this stuff on that haul video. So sign up for that by May 1st. And again, you can take any mix of those different events I'm offering. And then and April is another team member I partner with for events, in case you guys don't know April. Okay, then I have another partner. She lives in Canada. So if you happen to live in Canada, you can take this class as well. Normally you cannot. We're using the Cup of Tea bundle, and I have a sneak peek of my projects. And Genevieve's still working on hers. Now we live too far away to mail them to each other. So sometimes I just used to have to use pictures of hers to be able to give you a sneak peek. But anyway, this is a girls getaway stamp camp. It's all online. We do a Facebook party. You get $40 in merchandise, 10 projects, a gift, access to an exclusive Facebook group, and a bonus gift if you register for all 3 of these events. So this camp, like I said, Cup of Tea bundle. Let me give you a sneak peek of my 5 projects. I think they're super cute. This suite of products uses the new in colors. So you're going to use all the new in colors in this class. And again, remember, we stamp, die cut. We don't stamp. We die cut, punch, and emboss everything we can for you. That's going to include these awesome, I don't know why I didn't bring everything else over here, but these in color matte dots. You're using the Cup of Tea bundle to make those projects. You can add all this on when you register, by the way. If you don't have the stamp sets and bundles, you can add them on. Don't worry. Here's the dies, and you can see I've been using them. Designer paper, card, bases and envelopes. You get a lot. So that's the camp. Same thing as the retreat. You can take these classes alone or combine them with the camp and save shipping. Also, you'll get a free gift if you take all 3. So my class is the Bottled Happiness card class, and I finished these cards yesterday, and I really like them a lot, and I think you will too. You're going to make 6 different cards. You're going to get the Bottled Happiness stamp set, substitute if you already own. And it's awesome. So let me just show you a sneak peek. Okay, so here's the stamp set, Bottled Happiness. There is a punch that goes with it. You can add on at bundle pricing when you register if you like. 6 cards. They all ended up being, basically, I'm calling this a cobalt glass class. We've got blue. This is the new in colors, Orchid, Oasis, and Starry Sky, which it's like blue purple. They're both like blue purple to me. I'm not a color expert. Gorgeous. Okay. I'm just saying you should take it. I don't really want to reveal this one card because I think it's so creative. I don't want anyone to see it until they take the class, but not that one. This other one that I'm hiding. But you're going to get some beads. I'm going to have great tips. These beads are dangerous. They go everywhere. So you're going to get tips on how to use those beads properly without being like me and still finding them on your table days later, and they're stuck to all your photopolymer stamps. So that's the Bottled Happiness class. You should take it with or without the retreat. I mean, the camp. And then last but not least, Genevieve's Sweet Songbirds class. Again, it's a card class, 6 cheery, like just super bright cards with this Sweet Songbirds set. And you can take that with or without the camp. Here's Sweet Songbirds. There's a punch again. You can add on that punch at bundle pricing, all that stuff. So any questions, let me know. Let me check on your comments. Sarah, good morning. Good to see you, Sarah, on YouTube. Thank you for watching. Linda, you'll be signing up. You hope you're on my email list. So if you don't receive an email at 1 p.m. today, you may not be, or check spam, because y'all know how spam is. I'll write your name down. Linda Frank. My pen's dying. Of course my pen is dying. Oh my goodness. Sorry. I'll have to open a new pen. Okay, Linda. So, but I will say, if you're on my email list, you probably know because I send a lot of emails. I'm always updating you guys. Thank you, Pat. Good to see you. Good morning. Hues of Happiness is gorgeous. I agree. Let's see who else came in. Betty. I know it's a lot. I'm not even finished, Betty. It's crazy. But we're very excited about the new catalog. So I'm partnering with Genevieve in Canada. Remember, you can take that class if you're in Canada, any of those 3. She will do the cutting and mailing for you. But I have her link if you need it. And then Alejandra, I'm partnering for 2 or 3 events coming up, and April. So plus my own events that I'm doing by myself. Good morning, Jenny and Regina and Margie. Good to see you guys. Yay, Jill. Yes. So if anyone needs links, of course, besides joining VIP or joining my email list, you can always message me on Facebook. Jennifer, I saw you said you need to add it on. So if you already registered for the first one, I'll need to tell you how to add it on, because Constant Contact will say you already registered for this class, but we can make it work. Okay, so that was my camp. Shares is the next thing. This is the last big class for now to talk about. Now, I know this is like a ton of information on the screen, but basically what it's telling you is you can get a sampling of every new designer paper in the annual catalog without paying over $180 something to buy all the full packs. We do 6 by 12 whenever possible. There's some 3 3/4 by 5 vellum you're going to get. And of course, there'll be some 6 by 6. If you can just do the share only, which is just get the paper. You can do the ribbon share only. Just get 2.5 yards of each ribbon, 2.5 yards. A lot of people do 1 or 2 yards. We like to do 2.5 so you can really play with it and see what you like. You can do only the paper share, only the ribbon share, but you can add on this party and you will get make and takes. 12 make and takes. Each one will use a piece from all of the different new designer papers, the 12 new designer papers. We also give you the the specialty papers though, in our share. And we have listed here, we'll be using the Simply Fabulous stamp set and the Charming Sentiments bundle on our make and takes. You can use those, you can substitute different stamps, or you can add them on when you register. Any of those, you know, whatever you want. We do recommend if you do the party, you get the ribbon share because we'll be using that on our make and takes, but you can substitute any ribbon, as you know, like you probably have a white ribbon laying around you can use. So this is just the designer paper that we've been able to order so far. I showed this again on the video the other day, but they're gorgeous. And this doesn't include the Hues, H-U-E-S, Hues one, because it's over there to be designed with. But again, we include specialty. There's glitter paper. There's so many cool new papers. You really are going to want to do this. And I recommend you add on the party. It's only $20 extra. But yet you're going to get so much value. A Facebook group, we demonstrate every single card. This is with Alejandra. She demonstrates her 6 cards and I demonstrate my 6. So you can see step by step. You can interact with us, of course, ask questions, all that stuff. So register for that. Let me see if I have a printout here. Yes, I do. By the way I'm holding it. May 15th. But actually, that's the final deadline. We recommend you register by May 1st because we will do an initial order on May 3rd of everyone who's registered so far to avoid that back order situation. So if you wait, that's fine. You can register until May 15th. The event is on May 28th, the Facebook party, but you don't have to be present. And your kit is mailed May 23rd. But if you register sooner, you may avoid a back order, basically. So we'll do an initial big order on May 3rd when we're allowed to order from Stampin' Up. And then we'll do the next order May 16th. So you may have to wait, I guess is the point, on some papers. If they even go on back order, we don't know. Stampin' Up's doing so good right now. Knock on wood. With our back order situation. So I did knock on wood for that. Don't worry. Okay. Retreats. We have in-person retreats coming up May 12th through 15th. You really need to sign up soon, but we still have space for you to attend in person. But remember, you can take it to go if not. That's the one I'm designing right now. You'll make the same projects in person. It's in Temple, Texas at Rockin' Our Retreats. You're going to get a bed, meals, a table, and be able to use April My Stuff, see our samples, optional add-on classes, all that stuff. Or you can do August 11 through 14 at Rockin' Our Retreats. That one's getting more full, so I would register for that soon. Betty, I do have another bingo date. It is in June or July. That's why it's not being advertised yet, because it's farther away. But I will need to check my calendar. So I'll go back and comment on your comment. My calendar is way over there. Rhonda says, I love the paper share. Thank you, Rhonda. So, hey, Tammy, good morning. Cool, Jennifer. Yeah. I don't remember who's all registered for that class already, but if you are, we'll need to take care of it a special way. Okay, cool, Betty. So yeah. And the reason I wanted to do a new catalog bingo right away is just my schedule. As you might be able to tell, it's kind of full. Okay, so retreats. Of course, cruise is the ultimate retreat, a crafting cruise. Who wouldn't want to do that? Our January 2023 cruise is full, but you can sign up for January 28th through February 4th, 2024 on Harmony of the Seas out of Galveston, Texas. You can sign up for that now. Pay it out over the next couple of years. And space is very limited on these crafting portion of the cruises. You can bring any friends you want. They don't have to craft. There's no limit on that number of people. And our group rate is going to save you so much money over any Royal Caribbean special. So use our group rate. Please feel free. And you can get on the wait list for 2023 if you like. It's a small wait list right now. So get on it, because people definitely may have to cancel before it actually happens. So get on that wait list, like put your name at the top. Any questions on any of this, let me know. May's Paper Pumpkin. So this is very exciting. The Paper Pumpkin for May is all about the new in colors. Every new in color is represented in this kit, and it is cards. It makes 10 cards. Yes, 5 designs, 2 of each. It comes with a basic gray Stampin' Spot, but the papers will be include the new in colors, all 5 of them. Oh, and if you saw on that picture, there is an embellishment of all the new in colors there. This is last month's Paper Pumpkin, the one from March 2022, which matches the On the Horizon stuff that we'll be using in our sampler. But anyway, last month we got a bonus gift of a free stamp set. This month, you might get a golden ticket to win $25 in merchandise from Stampin' Up. But this kit, there was a mix-up in my ordering, and I had to replace someone's kit, and she took my opened one. And now I have my new one. So I wanted to show you, I never do this on my videos, just real quick. When you get this Paper Pumpkin kit, this is how it comes. You don't normally get 2 stamp sets. That was a bonus gift. But you get the stamp set that no one can purchase anywhere else. It's only available through your Paper Pumpkin kit. It'll never be sold individually in the future. I think this is a great one from last month. All these awesome words. I will always be here for you, thinking of you, blah, blah, blah. Then you get whatever embellishments might be included. You get always at least 1 ink spot. That's just a thank you note. But then there's always tissue paper, like a little gift. And then in general, all of your supplies are in this, like wrapped in cellophane. And of course, you can reuse that tissue paper and the boxes. They make great gift boxes. But like this ribbon, I don't know why sometimes the embellishments are out. Either they're too big or they didn't come in time to be shrink wrapped, is what I think. Like some of my kits, sometimes it's like this gets thrown in at the very end because I forgot it or whatever. But so they're not always not shrink wrapped like that. Anyway, and then you have all your pieces. Where are the instructions to this one? I feel like the person I got this from may have accidentally kept the instructions. So I had to, through my team, I had to get it from a team member. Oh, no, they're right here. Okay, sorry, I'll take it back. You know who you are. She didn't keep the instructions. They're right there. I just usually have all this open for the video. So you get your instructions. Boom, right there. Adhesive, more adhesive, whatever's needed for the kit comes with it. Whatever embellishment. So this one has ribbon and rhinestones. And then if it's cards, which they are not always, but they tell us now at least if it's cards or not, you get envelopes that usually coordinate. Sometimes they're white, but usually they coordinate like that. And then, of course, all the card bases and pieces you need to complete the projects. So that's what a Paper Pumpkin kit is. It's a magical Cinderella's pumpkin box that comes in the mail directly to your house. And this is the one, like I said, from March. I don't have April's kit yet. So sign up for May's kit. You can subscribe by going to the link in this video, but it's like paperpumpkin.com, but I have a link that will link you to me. And you can subscribe and cancel anytime. It's $23.50 a month, and you get the box until you put it on hold or cancel it. That saves you money because the $23.50 includes shipping. But if you also would like to instead go to my website and just order 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months, you will pay tax and shipping. But you can do that if you're like not a subscription kind of person. You can buy, again, 1, 3, 6, or 12 months. And this is where you find it in the online store. Shop products, other products, kits, Paper Pumpkin. And they're called prepaid subscriptions. So that's how you sign up for that. Oh, so my biggest thing about getting the one for May is in colors. Ooh, ah. And the golden ticket. Now, I don't know how many golden tickets there are, but you have a chance to win $25 in merchandise from Stampin' Up. And plus, wouldn't it just be exciting to be the one that gets the golden ticket? Like, I'm like, do I up my subscriptions or not? But then I couldn't open them all. I'd have to sell them to you guys and you would still be the winner. Anyway, so very exciting. $23.50. Sign up by the 10th. I forgot to say that. The 10th is the deadline of every month to get your paper pumpkin kit. So May 10th is the deadline, whether you go pre-purchase or subscribe. Okay, showed all that. I think I can point this camera down, give you a little more information, but I think I'll leave it down now. We're done with you, Paper Pumpkin. And a few reminders before I jump in. This retiring catalog is still amazing. This is our current annual catalog that will be retiring May 2nd. There's a huge list of things that will not carry over and be in the new catalog that you can get now. Many stamp sets are sold out. So many. So I've included the list from yesterday in the 1 o'clock email of sold out stamp sets. Also, 2 designer papers have sold out, and most of the in color ink refills that are retiring have sold out. Lots of stuff is discounted. You see my little notes in here about discount prices. It's the peach designer paper, and I'm blanking on the second one that sold out. But anyway, so the accessories are creeping up their star. Oh, it's hand pinned is sold out. Hand pinned and not pansy. I keep thinking that one is the peach one. You're a peach are sold out. So these accessories are creeping up on the sold out list. So if there's anything in this book that you want, I would get it ASAP. If you know you want it, get it now. These stamp sets are the most selling out so fast. I haven't updated my book as far as what is sold out, so do not pay attention to that. But they're just flying off the shelves like hotcakes. So that is going on. The mini catalog is still good to go right now, but at the beginning of May, we will get the official retiring list, which through the process of elimination, I've already marked mine up with what is going to be on that list. However, it's not officially retiring yet, but I would recommend anything in this book that isn't in the new book, order it before that list comes out in May, again, to avoid sellouts. So that's what's going on with this book. This is our seasonal catalog, and then we get a new one in July that'll be the holiday and fall catalog. Yay. But in May, this one will go while supplies last. And then, of course, we have a new catalog. Ooh-ah. So I selected some of my customers to get this one through Stampin' Up. And I know a lot of people have, well, I don't know a lot, but I know people are receiving them now. So watch your mail for that. If you think I should have mailed you one, you can check with me and I can check my list and see if I did. And if not, and I need to, I will mail you one now because I have mine here. Also in-person customers, if you're local, they're here. Let me know if you want to come pick it up. And of course, if you would like to order products from this early, just like me, you can just join, get this $99 starter kit. Anyone can buy it. If you're in the US, you can buy it from me. It's $99 plus tax only, free shipping, and you pick 125 of anything you want, including anything that's on the pre-order for demonstrators from this catalog. So you can do that. And then last but not least, I think I forgot where it is. I don't know if it's, oh, good, I can reach it. Last but not least, quick reminder that May 2nd is the last day to order some of these while supplies last products. So May 2nd is the last day to order the Here Together bundle or individual stamp set or dies and the all together 6x6 designer paper. They are while supplies last or May 2nd. And then May 2nd is the last day to order the Waves of the Ocean designer paper. That's while supplies last as well. So if you want those, that's just a cutoff. Like that is the day they're going to cut those off, or May 3rd they will. Okay. Now I do have an online ordering special every month. So when you go on my online store and place an order, if you use, let me grab my thing here, a host code on the left of your screen here, if you use host code through tomorrow, CJ6W93P7, that's hard to say, and your order's 25 or more, you're going to get a free class packet to make these 4 cards. I thought I ripped my card apart. This is a fancy fold here. Okay, so you'll get a free class packet to make those 4 cards if you place a $25 or more online order with this host code. If that order is 50 or more through tomorrow, you also get a free full roll of denim ribbon. Then April 16th, I'll release a new host code. Still, it's 1 per person per month. You could still earn this with 25 or more, and there'll be a new accessory April 16th with a 50 or more order. Now, if your order is $100 or more with that online host code, I'm also going to give you the Calming Camellia stamp set for free. This is a April 2022 special only, 100 or more. You get the kit, you get the free accessory, and you get Calming Camellia. And that will run through the entire month. We just have a new host code on the 16th. So any questions on that, let me know. But today, I also have another class you can get free. So this one is my Cactus Cuties card class. And that's the one the cards I am about to demonstrate. Put my stuff away here. Okay, so this card class, I do this every month. I have a separate card class that you can get free with a $20 or more online order. It is, well, obviously it's a different stamp set each month. This month is Cactus Cuties or bundle, stamp set or bundle. You get 4 cards for, sorry, I'm going to use the lines of that table real quick to straighten that out. You get 4 cards for $15, but they're free with a $20 or more online order with a different host code. So I've added that just to today's video right here on the right, this ED4Z one. Now, because this is a class I run every month, you also have to register for the class. You place the order and register, or register and place the order. Either order, it doesn't matter. So $20 or more, this host code gets you this class, but you also have to register. If I see an order with this host code, I'm going to email you and say, here's the link, make sure you register. Now, because this is a different class that I offer every month, you do pay shipping for your kit unless your order is $50 or more. You can combine this shipping with sampler, Stamp-A-Stack, scrapbook, and this month, Friendly Hello. So just get with me if you have any questions. I hope this all makes sense. That's the registration link to register for the class, which also will be in the email today. And you see it's 2 steps, order and register, or it could say register and order. So hopefully that makes sense. Here we go. Your class kit will look something like this when you get the kit for this class. And because this is a class that I offer the tub pickup, I have put the tub together. So all of the supplies for card class are in here. And oh, by the way, this is totally random, but do you guys remember last week when I was like, this yard work? It was someone cutting up a tree that had fallen in my neighbor's yard. No damage, I mean, other than the tree. But they were chainsawing a tree the whole time I was doing my video. So that's what that sound was. Anyway, random. I just thought of it. So all the supplies for the cards are in this box, and that's what I'm going to use to make the cards today. This is also what I'll take with me to the in-person event. And of course, you would just supply the inks and stamps if you're stamping this at home. Okay, so let's make some cards. I've only been talking for almost 1 full hour. I'm sure you're ready, and I'm sure I've lost half of my audience. Okay, so the kit will look like this. We do have a large scrap that we're going to use this month. I have my sample right here for a lot of the pieces you'll need for each card. Then you'll have a card, like all the pieces for a card besides that one, in a clear envelope and the card base. And then it continues on. Pieces, card base, pieces, card base. So we're going to make this one first. Our card base is basic white. It's 5.5 by 8.5. It's just an 8.5 by 11 cut in half. We're going to fold this in half with the bone folder. So rest the, or not rest. I feel like this paper's cut wrong. It is. It's not a good half sheet. Don't worry, Landa cuts y'all's. Let me grab myself another one real quick over here. Who knows? I may have grabbed that off the table, not realizing it wasn't a card base. Anyway, I rest the two edges against my thumb. I push them against my thumbnail to align the two corners, and then I try to make all of my creasing with the bone folder. That will be or create less wrinkles on the inside. You could also score that if you prefer. So half sheet of paper, fold it in half. There's your card base. This is going to be landscape. And that's basic white, and we'll set that aside. And then inside the packet for this card, which is a clear Stampin' Up! Clear envelope, is a piece of crushed curry cardstock that's 4 by 5 1/4, and it's been embossed with the Tasteful Textile embossing folder, which is sadly retiring, and while supplies last. You definitely want this folder if you don't have it. It's amazing. It just gives you a texture that matches pretty much any design of anything you ever do, and it's retiring. So grab that while you can. So it's 4 by 5 1/4, and it's been embossed. That will go on the front of the card there. Then I have a piece of this gorgeous designer paper. It is 3 inches by 3 3/4, and it's called Abstract Beauty. This is a 4 by 6 designer paper in the mini catalog. So it will be retiring officially starting next month. 4 by 6. This is a pack that I have combined with many other packs of the same designer paper. So the quantities you see here might not be correct as to what you receive. But you can see that there's all this gold foiling. There's all these abstract designs. It's super pretty. The design I'm using has a Night of Navy base with all these pretty abstract flowers in Magenta Madness, Just Jade. I believe that's Balmy Blue, yes. Pumpkin Pie, Crushed Curry, little dots, leaves. It's just really pretty. And it's got the gold foil on the center of each flower. Well, that's the designer paper. And then I have 2 pieces of cardstock that have been pre-die cut. Of course, we'll die cut and emboss for you in basic white and Just Jade. And these are from the also sadly retiring Hippo and Friends dies. So you're going to want to get those while you can if you don't have them, because they're amazing. They have all these labels, which 2 of my labels, the ones I'm using in this class, are in this baggie for Landa. These 2 labels here, and it's the one that's like a rectangle with the edges cut off, and we're using the largest one and the next one down from that. But look at all these other shapes that you can get from this set of dies. So I would definitely recommend adding that to your list if you don't have it. Okay, there's all that. There's also a piece of ribbon. This is the Flowers for Every Season ribbon combo pack. You get 3 different ribbons in that. We're actually going to use 2 of these today on one on another card. But you get this Just Jade gingham, this Misty Moonlight and white baker's twine with silver, and then a white sort of linen ribbon all in one pack. And I forgot to check. I'm going to look real quick. I think that one's retiring, but I cannot remember for sure. I think it is though. Just to be positive. Yes, it's retiring and it's discounted to $8 for all three of those instead of $10. Okay, then we have this strip of 1 3/4 by 11 basic white cardstock, and you're going to stamp several of your pieces for this card onto this one strip of cardstock. Some of them, well, I think only this one, it's the same image, but in a different color. One is Granny Apple Green, it's the cactus, and one is just jade. So at my class, I'm going to have two different stamps. I'm going to borrow Landa's. One will say Granny and one will say just jade. And that's what you'll use. Of course, obviously, if you're using your own stuff at home, you will clean your stamps in between. I feel like there's a hair on my stamp there. This is a photopolymer stamp set, by the way, the Cactus Cuties. And where did I put it? These are cute, kind of whimsical style cactus. There's a couple of different versions of the cactus, one with two, I don't know what those are called, but two round things, and one with one. And then each one of those has a matching little piece you can add on, like where it's growing an extra cactus. So, and then there's a little flower that obviously grows on cactus, but also it looks kind of like a tulip shape, 3 petals there. There's another type of plant, maybe like an aloe vera style plant, so 3 big leaves coming out. And then there's a couple of little leafy, branchy kind of things, but they're cutesy. They're not like a real leaf. 3 different pots to choose from to plant your flowers in here, and then 3 greetings. Hope your day is on point, just a note, and hello. And these are like a cute blocky kind of fat font. The punch I have in my tub here. The punch does not punch out everything you see here. It's just one of the pots, basically one style of the cactus, the one that's the single thing that grows as a cactus, and the matching small one for that, and then this little tulipy flower thing, cactus flower. So that's the punch, which I will be using today. Okay, so that's the stamp set. I always forget, or I don't always forget, but I describe that for my blind customers. Okay, so this card actually is not using this sheet at all, so let's put that aside. I forgot. I'll do that on all the other cards today. So on our white label, what is it called? Hippo and Friends label. We're going to stamp this single. I'm going to see if anyone's helped me what these are called. Landa said retiring, sad face about that ribbon. I know we use it all the time over here. Lori's glad she grabbed that folder, definitely. Hey, Julie. Hello, hello. Thanks for sharing, Facebook user. Jill's still here. I don't know what these are. I don't know how to call this. I should have Googled that, but it's the single cactus thing. So I'm going to ink it up in Just Jade. I'm reading this. It's Just Jade ink for this card. Remember, the layering piece is Just Jade. And I'm basically going to stamp this single cactus image kind of right in the center. Remember, this is photopolymer, and these are super solid stamps because it's a big cactus. So you want to make sure you let the ink transfer. You might even be able to pick your stamp up and the paper will be stuck to the stamp, which is good because then you can press from underneath with your hand to transfer the ink really well. Also, if you don't have a nice, hard, firm table like mine, it's basically like a countertop surface. If your surface is not like that, you can use the Stampin' Pierce mat. It's only $5 to place your cardstock. I always use scratch paper and then my cardstock and then stamp. That gives you the same kind of surface. or put something underneath it, because if you're not getting a nice smooth image like mine and your ink pad is inked really well, then you probably need a different surface underneath. If your table's bumpy, full of holes, like, you know, fancy wood that has the knots in it, uneven, soft, flexible, plastic, these stamps will not stamp good on that. Okay, so we got that. And then there is the second little stamp that's the cute little, you know, second cactus growing off the cactus deal. And we're going to stamp that in Just Jade just over here to the right top, which, by the way, the moment I stamped that, I said, Mickey Mouse. And then I ran out of time to make a card, but I stamped on a circle a black cactus with two of those little baby cactus in the Mickey ear shape. And I put it on a white circle and a red background. So I need to finish that, but you can make a little Mickey Mouse themed card as well with this stamp set. We're not doing that today on my projects, but you know, you could. Okay, so I'm going to grab my Simply Chamois and clean my stamps real quick, because I obviously am going to be using this in Granny Apple Green later. And sorry, squeaky. Just remember your chamois, you just rinse it in water, squeeze it out until the water's running clear. And then you can keep cleaning your stamps. It's going to get stained and it'll never look pretty again, but cleans them really well. Just uses water. But don't store it in an airtight container because it will turn moldy because it's wet. So these cases, we sell them. They're not airtight. That's what I use, but whatever you want to use is fine. Okay, and then I'm going to add to this image two things, my greeting and the little stamped flower. Sorry, digging through the bucket is noisy. So I'm going to stamp the flower in Magenta Madness. Such a pretty color. I have these stamps layered in this bucket, like on top of each other, so finding what I need is challenging. Okay, so here's the little flower. And it does fit the punch, but we'll talk about that when I use the punch. So I'm going to stamp the little flower over here on the left. By the way, just a quick reminder, you can get entered to win these 4 cards that I'm making today by commenting on this video. Even on replay, you have about 2 weeks from the time it airs. So even on replay and or sharing the video and commenting that you shared, but all that helps me. So thank you very much. Okay, the greeting is going to say hello in Night of Navy to match this designer paper. And that just goes right below the cactus, centered left to right and not all the way to the bottom. Okay, and then adhesive. So we're ready to put this card together. This is, they're not really complicated cards today, but this card's pretty simple. I'm going to attach my designer paper to the left side of this crushed curry cardstock. So there will be the normal 1/8 inch border on the 3 sides since it's shorter. And I'm going to go ahead and attach that to my card base since I'm not wrapping any ribbon or anything like that around this curry cardstock. Then I will attach the stamped white piece flat to the Just Jade layer. And then that's going to get Stampin' Dimensionals. So I like to use the mini Stampin' Dimensionals. Either size is fine. And either way, I would use 5 on this card. On this piece. And this will overlap the designer paper and that curry to the right. It's going to be more to the right. So it's not just straight down the line of where that designer paper ends. More to the right. And then just tie this ribbon in a bow. I'm going to make a bunny ear bow. So 2 bunny ears, 1 in each hand. Lots of space in between the 2 ears and the 2 hands, I guess. The tails are basically even. And the reason, well, all my fingers are pointing at me. And the reason for that is that tells me I haven't twisted and turned the ribbon, which makes your bow not as pretty. And then I just cross the right bow over the left and then keep that all together and push that same right bow down into the rabbit hole and pull. And then, of course, you would just adjust the size and shape of your bow to make it look cute and be the size you want. And just a side note, normally I would do this from my roll to save ribbon, but because this is for a class and I'm going to show you the class packet, it's pre-cut, which of course is how yours will be. Okay, mini glue dot. Hold on, we're in the class box. There's dimensionals in there as well. Oh man, this is a brand new one. I like to tie a ribbon around this, any of my glue dots. Let me see if I have a ribbon over here. Yes. To help people remember not to unroll the whole thing, but also not just the memory part. It helps you feed it easier. You just keep, moving the ribbon down as you uncover more glue dots. So I like to fold this paper back so that the glue dot is flat against the roll and just press my embellishment into it. I don't like to touch the dot. And then that ribbon, or sorry, that bow goes right there on the left of hello at an angle. And that's the card. I'm going to grab my Sharpie. I have to label this. I didn't realize that was a brand new roll, because people come to class and they have the same exact products as me. So we have to make sure we know mine versus theirs. Okay, so there we go. Hope you guys like it. To me, that's the plainest card of the class today. So hopefully they get better and better. But that's number one. And just a reminder, you can get this class packet for free to make the 4 cards with a $20 online order with the host code on the right. If your order is 50 or more, you also get free shipping. You do have to register for the class, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, number 2. Don't forget about Mickey Mouse over here. We will be now, I believe, ooh, something just fell. Hopefully I don't need whatever that was. Well, actually, this is interesting. I guess this is just for my last 2 cards. I don't even know. We're going to find out because I'm like, whatever. Doesn't matter. Here's my class packet for this card. It is, by the way, don't forget to use your clear envelopes to protect your cards. Also, you can mail them this way. Either mail them like this with your address info on the back and put the postage stamp on the outside. You can slip a paper in there with the address info or use stickers, and just check with your post office on how much postage they want. Or you can slip this into your plain envelope to protect it even further when you mail it. And it, of course, is great for in-person delivery. Also, don't forget that I do, oh, I don't want to show you that yet, actually. That's for this card. But don't forget that I do the recipe cards you guys can print for these cards also on my blog every week. Okay, so fold your card base in half, just like before. This is a portrait style card. Then my next layer is this awesome Expressions in Ink designer paper. Let me verify that name. Yep. And it is retiring, of course. It's 4 by 5 1/4. And so this piece on the back that we're not using has the alcohol ink design with evening evergreen and a lighter like shaded spruce and gold marbling. But the front side of this piece that I'm using, it doesn't have the gold, but it's just these watercolor gorgeous flowers in evening evergreen, magenta madness, pale papaya, and they say shaded spruce, but I'm substituting this for granny apple green. and it's going to look gorgeous. So when I made this card, first let me just show you this paper real quick. If you don't have it, you want it, go ahead and grab it. Each design has at least one side with the gold foiling, lots of alcohol ink designs, all those bright, gorgeous colors I mentioned, lots of flowers, lots of alcohol ink, gold stripes, just really pretty. And that's while supplies last right now in the current annual catalog. This is just a thing that matches it, the ephemera pack, also retiring. Okay, so I wanted to see how this would look with the cactus. Like I wasn't sure if it was going to work or not. And this designer paper. And then what it ended up being was, because we cover so much, you can hardly even notice that there are flowers in the background, and it just looks like a watercolory background. So I loved how it ended up turning out. So 4 by 5 1/4 designer paper. Then I have a piece of basic white, which is 2 1/4 by 3. And then a piece of granny apple green to go behind that, 2 1/2 by 3 1/4. I have a little scrap of pale papaya cardstock, and then a pre-die cut basic white label for my greeting, and that's from the Potted Succulents dies. Thank goodness, not retiring. And just drop something. I use these dies, as you probably know, all the time for the 4 different labels that it comes with. So this is the label I'm using. It's a long, I don't know how to describe it, but it's a fancy little shape there, but it's a long one, so you can put your long readings on it. I just used this one with I think the Tea Camp, this other long skinny label. And then of course it has, where's the other one? I'm not sure where the one label's missing, but anyway, it has this like nice rectangle shaped label and a smaller one that nests in there. I'll have to find where that is. I'm just gonna make sure it's not on page 2 now. Oh, there it is. See, knew it was supposed to be in there. So succulents, love these, still available. Grab them. Okay, that's basic white. And then I pre-punched, which will be pre-punched for you guys, 5 of the little flower. So what I found with the flower is if you stamp it and punch it out, there's no white edge on any of these images when you punch them. It punches inside the stamped image. So it was a lot of work to stamp it and punch it out to get the same result if I just punched cardstock. Hopefully that makes sense. I couldn't see a benefit the other way in that one case. Therefore, we will be pre-punching those for you. Oh, but I do have a tip. I grabbed, some scraps right here. The tip is cut a 1/2 inch strip of whatever color. This is Magenta Madness, what we used for this card. And you always have to look at your punches to find the best way to punch something. So it could be instinct just to stick it in there, and then you waste all this paper if you're punching the other images. So you just literally have to figure out what is the best way for me to insert this into my punch and only punch out the image I need. And I think you can do this from the left or right. But it's basically, I have this, of course, upside down, the punch, angling it so that the paper is going as far down to the left or right as possible, and you're not punching all this part here, so that you will be able to continue to get more and more out of that piece. So just a quick tip there on not wasting your paper, or of course sticking a full sheet in there and you don't need all these magenta other images. So that's the quick tip on that. So, but those will be pre-punched. So for our stamping, we're going to stamp the double cactus image in Granny Apple Green. See, it says just Jade. I'll have Landa stamps for in person. This one's Granny Apple Green. on this piece of white, the white rectangle I told you about, a little bit toward the top, but not all the way to the top. We want to put a flower up there, just more toward the top than the bottom. Remember about letting the ink transfer, maybe picking it up and pressing from the bottom, all that stuff. You do want your ink pads really inked well for these kind of images. Also, my greeting will be in Granny Apple Green, and it says, "Hope your day is on point." Granny Apple Green, right on that die cut label. So cute. Okay. Then for the pot that this, our first cactus didn't have a pot, but this one's going to be in a pot, a flower pot, whatever. I don't know if it's called a flower pot for a cactus, but I don't really want to say cactus pot. I'm going to stamp this pot image on my scrap of pale papaya in pale papaya ink, not smoky slate. Again, I will have Landa stamps. And then, so this is one of those where we're going to punch it out. So you want to look at the punch and say, if I just stamp this right in the middle here, going like normal across, that's going to be extremely difficult for me to keep a hold of it and get it in here and position it and punch it. So we're going to purposely give you a sort of oblong rectangle piece of cardstock. You're going to turn the punch upside down and look and say, okay, if I turn this pot sideways and stamp it over to one side or the other so that I can hold on to it. And when I turn it sideways, I want the rounded end, which is the bottom on the left in this case, and the straight edge on the right. Then that's going to give me the perfect insertion, so to say, into the punch. Now it's easy to align because there's no edge on the outside. This is what I was talking about. So you just center it and you'll get just that middle portion, which is all image. Okay, so that's that. Hopefully that made sense. And now we have our pot and we're ready to assemble. So for this card, you do have to cut some dimensional, for these flowers, I should say, you do have to cut some dimensionals in half. The mini dimensionals, or if you're using the large ones, cut them into fourths or whatever. These little flowers are very tiny. So I cut my dimensionals in half, my mini dimensionals, because of course I want these flowers popped up, and put half of one on each flower. You could also just use the edges and cut them into really skinny strips, of course, for when you need a smaller dimensional, basically for anything. You can use those edges, cut them into any size you need. But this is a little tedious. I probably could have pre-dimensional these if I had thought of it, but I did not think of it. But there we go. It's done now, so we're fine. And then, of course, this little pot is going to be on dimensionals, flower pot thingy. So I'll use a couple of my mini dimensionals on that. And there was a piece of ribbon in this packet as well. I'll talk about it when I get to it. I need to quickly clean these two stamps since they're in different colors later, to get them out of the way. Okay, so the little flower pot guy that's pale papaya goes below the cactus, of course. And then all the flowers just go on the cactus. This card was inspired by one on Pinterest. The flower layout for sure was extremely similar to mine. I was just like, show me where the flowers go. So that's where I got this the inspiration for the placement here. These little dimensionals are messing with me today. Okay, so there we go. So I attached 5 flowers all around the little cactus, and the pot is there on dimensionals. We'll put this whole piece flat on the Granny Apple Green. Who's here? Who's with me? Let me check these comments. Cindy in West Central Illinois. Sunny but cold. Sunny here today too, which we've had crazy weather. Of course, I'm sure most of y'all probably know Texas. Crazy, like with the storms and stuff. So we keep having cloudy here, but it is sunny today. Although it was sunny yesterday, but crazy windy. So, okay, I attached my designer paper to the card base. Nothing's going around it, so I'm safe to attach that. I've got the little cactus on the Granny Apple Green, and I should be safe to attach that now. I'm going to place the greeting toward the bottom just for alignment, and the cactus toward the top. And see what I mean about how the flowers kind of disappear and it just looks more like a watercolory alcohol ink background. I know we know it's flowers, but it kind of makes it disappear there. So I will use Stampin' Dimensionals for both of these pieces, basically the cactus and the greeting. So there's cactus, but I just want that greeting sort of laying down there to see where do I want to place this. It's basically centered left to right, but toward the top, and then greeting centered left to right toward the bottom. I will use 3 mini dimensionals for the greeting. Right across the center there, and that goes right across the center bottom. And then last but not least on this one is the ribbon. This is a strip of our Whisper White Whisper White crinkled seam binding, which is still will be carried over into our new catalog, so that is good. And I'm going to color it to match our card. So I have a dark Granny Apple Green Stampin' Blend, which is an alcohol marker. And so that is alcohol. Sorry, I was trying to read the comments and keep talking. Alcohol markers color embellishments really well because it dries. Alcohol ink dries super fast. So I'm just laying this ribbon on some scratch paper to protect my table. I'm going to lay the brush tip almost flat on its side to color this. I'm just really giving it one layer, like once over, and coloring it Granny Apple Green. If you ever want your ribbon or whatever you're coloring with these markers darker, you can just keep layering and layering. I rarely ever need or want to do that, but in that case, that's what I'll do. And then I always check to see if I missed a spot, which I did on that one just now. And that's it. It dries really fast. Now, if you immediately grab it and start working with it, you will get a little of that ink on your hands, but it dries pretty quick because it's alcohol, which evaporates, which also is why you have to put the lid back on immediately on your blends. And of course, there's a whole way of coloring with them, which we're not doing today. But if you were, you would need to know that stuff if you don't know it. And now we're going to tie this in another bunny ear bow. By the way, the blends remove all the static from this ribbon, which is a huge bonus. Okay. I pushed too much of a bunny ear through that hole and I couldn't grab it properly. And then, of course, just fix your bow. It's going to, well, mine is never cute at first. I always say it's never going to be good, but there might be somebody out there who's like, mine's perfect every time. So mine is never good the first time. This ribbon's a little more tight, I guess, than the first one too. for me to be adjusting over here. Okay, and then I will trim each end as needed to make them match up. Good. And just glue dot that on at the bottom left corner of the greeting. And that is the finished card. Card number 2 of card class this month. Free with a $20 order. And then I'll send you the registration link. So I saw that, I think Jennifer, cool how you use expressions DSP with the cactus set. And thank you, Jennifer. I was trying to find designer papers we had that had these colors, because when you're doing a class, you can't necessarily use like 5 different greens for the same stamp, right? I'm already borrowing 1 stamp from Landa. So I wanted at least 2 or 3 to match the Granny Apple Green. So I looked through the papers. Then, of course, I was like, I don't know about these designs with the cactus. So I tried it. It's even more so on this first one I made, where it's not as obvious these are flowers in the background. It's just the colors that match. So thank you very much. Don't forget your clear envelope. I don't know where I put mine, but you would. Oh, here it is. Of course, when you finish, I recommend putting your card in the clear envelope. Keeps it nice and protected, even if you don't use that envelope later. All right. Now, this is what I was going to say earlier, but I was like, oh, it's revealing my card design. These are the recipe cards that'll be on the blog at 11 a.m. today, showing you all the supplies used to make the project. This is printable. The measurements are here. These are not step-by-step instructions. It's just a recipe card. And it'll be for all 4 cards, of course. The numbers don't match the order of the video. And what? Oh, these are created by My Stampin' Stuff, or on My Stampin' Stuff, which is a website where you can keep all your inventory of all your Stampin' Up products. You can search by keywords to see, where's all my thank yous, where's my labels, et cetera, et cetera. And then you can also create the recipe cards. So anyway, any questions on that, let me know. Okay, our next card is a Blushing Bride card base. Actually, let me fold that and get it out of the way. Same size as always. And this card I pretty much almost straight up copied from my friend Genevieve in Canada. Genevieve Co. So 5.5 by 8.5, fold in half, Blushing Bride. And then the next layers in your packet are basic white, 4 by 5 1/4, that's been embossed with the brick and mortar embossing folder. This one right here. Mine has ink on it or something. And then a little, I believe this is 1 1/4. Yeah, 1 1/4 by 4-inch strip of a different design from the Abstract Beauty designer paper. This design is white with little bitty, like much smaller flowers than the first one, in the magenta, crushed curry, blushing bride, just jade, and gold. Abstract little flowers and blobs on there. That's going to go over to the left side. This is a landscape card. Then I have a little label. I haven't used these in a long time. That is from the, grab it, Floral Gallery dies, which I believe are not retiring. Could be wrong. I think they're not. Here's the die I used. It's a small, like a little over 1 inch long label, 1 1/2 by 1/2 inch. I cut it in basic white, but it kind of has like a ticket edge, like a old-fashioned ticket, like you tore it apart from a thing, a sheet or whatever. And within this set, there's a longer one as well. Of course, these dies match with a really pretty floral stamp set we have. But anyway, that's the greeting. And then I pre-punched 3 of those same magenta flowers with the cactus punch. There's also a piece of the baker's twine from the Flowers for Every Season ribbon we talked about earlier that's discounted right now. This strip of ribbon, or twine, I should say, is about 10 inches long. And you may want to know that if you make this on your own later because of how I'm going to use it. Okay, now we're finally going to use this strip of white that's going to just be in your packet because it's for 2 different cards. And we will use it for, actually I've pre-stamped it for this video. On this card though, we need the 2 Night of Navy pots. So this is another pot design. It's more like a terracotta pot style, but a kind of cute, funky one where the top is really a thick, wide band there. The punch does not match this. So I'm going to stamp that in Night of Navy. Remember, I didn't say this actually. Let me just give you the visual here. Remember when you ink with any of our stamps on our normal inks, tap, 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 don't press hard. Yes, this is a huge solid image that you want lots of ink on. The harder you press on here, the worse it will look. You need to press lightly, but you can move it around to all the parts of your pad to get all the ink. You're going to have more ink on the edges, by the way. And then when you stamp it, you just want to hold it nice and firm for several seconds. Use the foam mat if you need to. Check your table surface. Check if your ink pad is inked well, etc. That goes for every image on this sheet. So we need 2 of the Night of Navy. And the direction I have stamped these, if you're taking my exact class, like with my paper, is important to fit everything. And then I've stamped these 2, well, these 3 at the right end because of the punch. So just copy mine. I would really recommend just go ahead and stamp all these pieces in the appropriate ink colors. And then make the 2 cards. But anyway, so I've pre-stamped everything here and I'll describe it as I go. So for this card, I need each cactus. There's the double cactus image and the single one in Just Jade ink. So you see that I've stamped one in Just Jade here, the other in Just Jade here. I'm going to punch the one that fits the punch out, and I'm going to hand cut the double one out. And then I also need these 2 Night of Navy clay pots. Everything else is for the other card. So at the end here, and I could have reversed this if I knew how I was going to do the video, but you know, there are 2 of the single cactus images. One is Granny Apple Green, one's Just Jade. Well, I'm going to punch out the Granny Apple Green one for the next card now, because if I don't and I punch my Just Jade one, I'm going to ruin Granny Apple Green. Remember, there's no white border, so just make sure you don't see any white when you align this on your punch around the edges. No white. So now I will save that Granny Apple Green one for the next card. And I have this one for this card, Just Jade. I don't need these excess whatever the punched out. Okay, then I'm going to hand cut out the other one that's Just Jade. And for this, I do leave the white edge when I hand cut it out, even though they'll be different, because it's really hard for me to cut without the white edge. And I seem to mess it up more. It's like I have no guide if I don't have that white edge there. Let me grab these glasses. I don't know if that makes sense, but I need that to be able to see an edge to cut right above versus removing it and not. I don't know. Does that make sense? Who knows? Trying to make long cuts so that I don't have little scissor marks showing. It's nice and smooth. Remember, Cindy said she failed cutting in kindergarten. Just practice. Okay, and then I need these 2 pots cut out as well. These 2 blue ones. Everything else is for my last card. It's funny, I didn't even realize when I put this together that all that was just for 2 cards. I was thinking it was for all 4, but I did that thing after the fact. Okay, so one of these pots, well, actually both I'm going to cut out like normal. Reminder, I got this idea from Genevieve. If you've seen her video, yes, I copied. And, but I thought it was a really cute idea. So we're going to cut out both of these sort of Night of Navy clay pot things by hand. It'd be nice if we had punches for all of these images, but you know. And then what she did is she took one of the clay pots and made it shorter just by cutting the top off, like the top of the top. And now it's a short one. And it's for the shorter cactus. And it's super cute. I was like, that is pretty genius. So there's that. This card, see if you guys like that. I know, love the cactus, Pat. I agree. Good, Jeanne. I'm glad you like that. That's like we try to, of course, that's for us to be paper saving. Like, let's don't waste too much paper making this card. Hey, Della, good morning. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Pat. Jeanne, glad you like that designer paper with the cactus. Oh, Janet, good. I feel like, Janet, like I'm almost crippled with designer paper now. I feel like I can't make a card without designer paper. It's a problem I have. And I never used to be that way back in, I call it the olden days of when I started stamping. I was able to make, I hardly ever used designer paper, I guess is the point. And now it's all I do. So that's part of why I used it. Okay, so Night of Navy, hello. I'm going to stamp it on that little white label. And that'll be my greeting for this card. So now everything's stamped and we can put it together. So first, I'm going to attach this strip of designer paper, 1 1/4 by 4, over here on the left side of my white that's embossed with the brick and mortar, and it's all the way to the left. So there's no border, unless it's cut a little off, which could be. There's no border on those 3 sides. Then I'm not actually wrapping anything around or anything like that, so this is ready to go on my card base, which is Blushing Bride. This is landscape. Then my greeting, I'm just going to set it up here again for visually aligning. It's going to kind of go up here on the top left, half on, half off the designer paper. Then I want the shorter cactus to the left and the taller one to the right. So I'm just, again, sort of laying this out, see where I want everything. And I think I want to move it, scooch it over here to the left a little bit, like both of them. I am going to be putting flowers up here, so that'll be some space on these cactus. The right one is the taller one. So I think I want to move them a little bit higher. Now, of course, you can also just look at the sample and see where everything's placed for all of this part. Okay, I think that's good. So now that I have it laid out, I'm going to pick up the cactus and add adhesive to it and attach both cactus pieces flat to the card front. I do want the bottom of these pots basically aligned with each other. And now I can pick up these pots and add dimensionals and attach them. You could do it vice versa, like whatever, but I'm just saying what worked for me. So dimensionals on the back. Look, I stamped the pot the wrong direction. Can y'all see that on the back? I was like, wait a minute, that's dumb. I stamped it just like quote normal, like how it looks right side up. And then I was like, I'm wasting so much space top to bottom. Turn it on its side, silly. So, okay, so I'm gonna attach the other pot. I'm about to have to cut some edges here of my dimensionals. And this larger pot, I just used 2 on the small one. I'm going to use 3 like a triangle on the larger. I'm still using the minis, but now I'm using edges because of using all of the other ones. So I'm going to align the bottom. You can, of course, use these bricks that are embossed on here to align those as well. And then we'll just do the flowers just like before with the little half a dimensional, or in this case, I need to cut some really small pieces. I think I'll do it this way of my edges there. Of course, this is a kind of flower in this punch that you can use with all types of other things. And I'm sure, where's that punch? I'm sure there's stuff out there. Where up at the punch? Oh, right here, where people have done punch art with these other pieces. Like you could even do the Mickey thing just in colors. It's not a perfect, these are off shapes, if that makes sense. But anyway, I bet there's a bunch of punch art out there with these, with the punch. Anyway, but just a little flower could match a lot of other products you have, I'm sure. I actually have this punch laying here that I forgot to show earlier when I was just talking about my classes. That's that bottle punch. And you could put these flowers in that bottle probably. But this one, I believe, is going to retire. When is it? Oh, now I can't remember. Let me look. I'm a hot mess with these little tiny pieces of dimensionals today. I did not have that much trouble when I made my samples. Let me look real quick because now I'm feeling like it could be either way. But I feel like they're going to retire when it's officially retiring. Yes, they're not in the new catalog. So you want to grab that now if you don't have it and you want it. Well, I say you want to grab it now. My opinion. Okay, so I'm going to add adhesive to the back of my greeting. And it's not fully necessary, but I think I'm going to put a silicone craft sheet in this tub. So I'm just going to add a strip of adhesive on the back of the greeting. And then this ribbon, I'm folding it back and forth, looping it, I guess. It doesn't have to be any kind of exact pattern, but kind of like 8s, you know, figure 8s or whatever. And hopefully it'll end up with one loose end on one side and one loose end on the other. And I'm just going to smush that into the back of my greeting. And it's not ribbon, it's twine. And I gave the measurement at the beginning of this card. And then I'll attach this with Stampin' Dimensionals. So I want to make sure I do overlap the dimensionals onto the ribbon as well, just to make it not come loose somehow. Of course, these are the edges. I could use regular dimensionals as well, the minis, and that would be fine. That's what I used on my first card. And now that makes that greeting a little cuter there. And that's the finished card number 3 of Card Class. There you go. Hey, Jean, good morning. Where are you at? Are you talking to me, Jean? You're in Beulah. I don't know what state that is. I'm in Texas, in case you're asking me. Lots of little flowers, but so worth it. I know, right, Cindy? They're really not that much trouble. I don't know what I'm doing today. Okay, so there's the third one. Last but not least, this was my favorite one because the color scheme was a little bit different. This was the first card I made, actually, when I came up with these. And I knew before I even made them, I was like, I want to make one with that gray wood grain designer paper. And then days later, I actually made the cards. So this is that designer paper called Heart and Home in the mini catalog. It's the one that has flower, you know, dainty flowery designs on one side, gray wood grain on the back, like a whitewash almost. Dainty flowers. There's all different patterns of wood grains. There is that blue wallpaper kind of image as well with medallions, but every single one has some type of wood grain on the back. So lots of choices to use even for this card. But I'm using the one, well, let me start at the base. The base is smoky slate to match this gray. Normal size. Oops. So we'll fold that in half. And then this is a portrait style card. And then I have Flirty Flamingo 4x5 1/4. Then I have that gorgeous wood grain paper. This is the design that on the back is the green. I think that's garden green. It's dark garden green with light stems and leaves all over it, little dainty ones. But we're using the wood grain side, and it's just like kind of thick 1-inch wood planks with lots of knots and wood detail. Love it. So that's 3 3/4 by 5 to go on there. And then I have a strip for my greeting. It's just a 1/2-inch strip. I believe it's a little longer than we need it. So it's just a 1/2-inch scrap, I should say, of basic white. And then one little pre-punched Flirty Flamingo flower. I also have some ribbon. It is the Flirty Flamingo metallic, which I believe is not retiring. I'm still open to the ribbon page here. So let me double check. Oh, no, lied. Retiring $6.40. I better order this before it sells out for my class. Okay, so we're going back to our white piece. We're going to, use this with my instructions. Again, you can reverse those colors if whatever, doesn't matter. So we'll punch out a granny apple green single cactus image. Uh-oh, okay. My camera froze. We'll also punch out the smaller version of that, the little one that grows on top. So notice it's stamped upside down because the punch is upside down in that way. Hopefully that makes sense. That's why I stamped it that way. Now, of course, I guess if I stamped it on the other side, right side up, I could flip my paper. Just don't stamp it right in the middle because then you waste all this space. If it was stamped any higher, notice how I cannot now use this piece unless I cut it first. So all this is about paper conservation and being the smartest we can with it. Okay, so we have the 2 cactus pieces that fit the punch. And then there's also the aloe vera style plant that I stamped in granny apple green that I'm going to hand cut out. Where's the glasses? So this is the class, my card class for this month, which is 4 cards for $15 free with a $20 order. So as a reminder, it's this host code on the right of the screen that you can use if you want this class, but you also do have to register. I know it's crazy. It's because I can't keep up with everything. I've already got the host code to keep up with, and I am old and my brain doesn't work. So for Landa's sake, for the count, for, me not being like, Landa, I forgot, you register for the class and then place your order. Or you can just pay the $15 fee. Okay, and then the other thing we stamped on the sheet is the two of the clay, 2 of the pots, I should say. I forgot this one. Yes, I did that on purpose too. The direction. This one matches. No, I didn't. Just ignore that. Pretend I never said it. Sorry, I'm pausing because when I look to the right, my one video, it's freezing. Ugh, that's annoying. Okay, we're not going to put this one out. I lied because we want it to be larger and have the white edge for this card. Do not punch it out. That's why I didn't care where I stamped it. We're not punching it out. So we're going to hand cut them out. But what I wanted to just point out is there's 3 different pots in this set altogether. There's the one that looks kind of like a clay pot that we used in navy. There's the one we've already used once today that fits the punch. It's kind of, I don't know, it's like a rectangle and it's rounded on the bottom and straight across the top, and it has some stripes. And then there's this other one that we haven't used yet that we're going to use now. That's, again, it's more like a square, but then the bottom, of course, the 2 edges are rounded, the 2 corners. And then it has 3 diamonds in the middle that'll be etched out. So when you stamp, there won't be ink where those diamonds are drawn, and they will show up on the card. Those are both stamped in smoky slate, and we're going to hand cut both of them out. So as a reminder as to why I'm not punching that one is because it shrinks. It does 2 things. It shrinks down the size a tiny bit. And for this card, I don't want that. But B is it won't have the white edge, and that's going to show more on this card versus, to me, I'm going to grab it. Yeah, this card doesn't really matter that the edge isn't showing. But on this one, I don't want to have white edge, no white edge. I hope I'm right. That's just like a design choice, though. You feel like punching it, you can punch it. Of course, I'm cutting this kind of not super well due to feeling like I need to rush because this video is like at approximately 5 hours now. So see the white edges, they match. It'll be good. Okay, so this card we are going, oh, I need to stamp my greeting, sorry. It says just a note, and we're going to stamp that in smoky slate. And this one, the idea for this greeting came from one of Genevieve's cards as well, but this card is not her card design, just the greeting part. I stamped just a note on this 1/2-inch strip, and then I'm going to hand cut out each word. So 3 words total. I'm just making straight cuts on each end of just a note. Okay. So to assemble, I want to attach my designer paper to the Flirty Flamingo cardstock. But I can't attach it to my card base yet because this ribbon's going to get tied around next. So this is a pretty long piece of Flirty Flamingo ribbon. That is because we're going to go all the way around and tie it in a bow on the right-hand side. So I've already flipped my card upside down as I wrap that around. The bow is going to be here on the bottom right. Bottom left, but I flip it upside down to tie my bow, which kind of makes the bow come out right side up. It's just a normal bow, but I did use the reverse tweezers there to grab, like to hold that in place. You can get those on my Amazon store on my blog, stamptherapist.com. And this ribbon is pretty easy to tie. Different ones give you different challenges, but this one's pretty easy. And like I've said already, but anything you see pre-done in this packet will be pre-done for you as well. The cutting, the die cutting, the embossing, etc. And then if I did it on video, you will be doing it as well. So I think this is where I want the ribbon. It's maybe at 1 1/4 to 1 1/2 up from the bottom, but I'm going to lay everything out and see. So basically this larger pot, the one that fits the punch, will be down here on the bottom right with the single cactus, with the little single baby cactus on top of it on the right. Then the smaller pot will be here toward the left, actually right above the ribbon. This one, the larger one's going across the ribbon little one above the ribbon. Aloe vera goes in it. A little flower goes on top of the single cactus. And then just a note will be up here, just on the top toward the left, just super crooked. Okay, so that shows me that everything's too high. I'm going to scoop my ribbon down a little bit, push everything down a little bit better. Okay, so there we go. We can start assembling. I'm going to do it just like the one where I put the pots where I wanted them and then lifted up my cactus and attached it. So the single large cactus that I punched out is going to be flat. And then the little baby cactus that's growing off the side will be on a dimensional. And of course, for whatever reason, it's always growing to the right. Then the little flower will be beside that on the left on the same cactus. That's Flirty Flamingo. Then my aloe vera plant. Let's grab that silicone sheet again. You don't need a ton of this Stampin' Seal, by the way. Tuck it under, and then dimensionals on the pot for it. How are we doing? I'm glad you love this set. I do too. I'm sad it took me so long to have time to make samples with it, but I finally did, and it's really fun. I knew it was going to be fun from the beginning, so I've owned it like since this catalog came out, but just now used it. I was like, that pot's really crooked, but I had not attached it yet. At the corners here, by the way, when I'm trimming these, I never trim because something ends up falling off. I never trim the paper too, so I cut it like this. Just a tip on the little dimensionals there. I mean, I do that on the big ones too. And then I'll just throw my leftover piece there. Okay, so 3 dimensionals on the larger pot. And then just dimensionals on my greeting. And that is it. Let me try to see comments. Thank you, Sandy. Della saying hi to Jean. Lightly snowing here this AM. Oh my goodness. But I'm like, that's crazy. I wouldn't want that. But then again, I do hate tornadoes as well. So good things about everywhere we live, I guess, depending on the day. Okay, just dimensionals on all 3 little just a note pieces. And then my nose was itching, so I was trying to rush so I could scratch my nose. It's just placed up here toward the top left, you know, crooked. Just goes one direction, A goes the opposite, and then note goes the opposite of that. It's a different than my first one a little bit. You'll see the placement and you'll see that it's fine. Like, who cares? So let me put that, attach it. So if anyone wants to take this class and you don't understand all the complicated instructions I gave you, just contact me. Also sign up for my email list. An email will be going out at 1 o'clock today with all the links, as well as, of course, you can always email me. Here's the last card. So this was my favorite because of the color scheme. I don't remember if I saw any in these color schemes online, but I don't think I did with the gray. I just thought it was really pretty, especially with that Granny Apple Green. When I was making these, I was like, Granny Apple Green is like an underrated color, I think. Like, I don't know if it's underrated. It's underrated by Jennifer. I think it's a really great color that matches a bunch of different stuff. So anyway, here are the 4 cards. Of course, yours would look like these after you finish them and put them in your clear envelopes, but so we can see them a little better on the video. Here's the 4 cards that you would make. Of course, you can obviously make them on your own at home. Move my little tub here. But if you took the class, you would make these. I know a lot of you are already signed up for this class, of course. It's a club as well, so I have club members who are in and all that. But they are our 4 cards for card class this month. Cactus Cuties. If you have any questions, let me know. Hope you guys have had fun. I know this was a video of my videos. But I appreciate anyone who was able to hang in. Thank you very much. Thank you, Brenda. Thanks, Cindy. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, Lori. Oh, good, Cindy. I'm glad she says it's after seeing these cards. Awesome. The stamp set. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to work with. You just have to think more cutesy than all of our floral, this isn't the Crane of Fortune style. Thanks, Jean. Thank you, Terry. I love the little cactus emoji there, Terry. Super cute. Thanks, Pauline. Thanks, Linda. Oh, Lori, you're very welcome. I definitely don't. Y'all know I don't think of myself as super creative, but it is fun to do this stuff. Cool. Well, I guess I'll let y'all go. I feel like I don't want to say goodbye, but I will say goodbye. Talk to y'all later. Let me see if I can. I don't know how this will. There we go. Oh, no, we don't want to see paper pumpkin though. Darn it. I never know which button to click. Hold on. Let's remove that. All right, there we go. Thank y'all very much. Have a great day. Me too, but they need to add the cute flowers on top. Who needs to add the cute flowers, Terry? I'm not sure where you're talking. Who? I don't know. Awesome. Well, thank y'all very much. I appreciate it. Everyone have a good week. I'll see you next Thursday, 9 a.m. Central, YouTube, Facebook. Comment so you can get entered to win these cards. Share and comment that you shared so you can be entered again to win these cards. Because I am giving away the set I made today, even though it's a class that I'm offering. So some lucky person is going to win them. Thank you, Linda. Oh, the cactus emoji. Yes, Terry. I knew I was missing something. She says the cactus emoji is cute, but it needs a little flower on it. Definitely. We need to submit that to iPhone or whatever. All right. I'll see everybody later. I'm going to hit end broadcast after I finish talking because it seems to cut people off early. So anyway, I'm going to say goodbye and then I'm going to stand here for a minute. Thank you. Goodbye.